Experience, and I am Brandon Gates, aka National Average Agent, and we have a great episode with y'all tonight. We have who should have been episode number 1 to Put Up Experience, but that's my bad. You know what I'm saying? Because the great thing about this podcasting and knowing so many great entrepreneurs, you overlook the people who are actually doing it for real. And if anything I know about Rico, man, I know Rico for so long. I remember I used to work down the street, right down the street from his barbershop, right here at Van Hood Parks. And I remember talking to him, man. He would say it all the time, man, I'm about to quit the job, bro. And I'm like, man, no, you getting that benefit money, you getting that money, right? And he was like, no, man, I gotta do it. And I'll be damned if my man didn't do the very thing he said he's gonna do. And I'm proud of him for that. And I remember after every time I see him, he's like, man, you quit yet? and this that comes to say, but I'm just grateful to know this man, and we're gonna learn some great gems. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Without further ado, let's introduce my man Rico, man.
So my name is Rico Webster. I don't know, better known as Rico Webster.
right. But okay, so let's
right.
So not only is he a entrepreneur, and I mean that in the fullest context, but he also is an investor. He's also a person that is able to cultivate people to their higher calling. So let's not
Appreciate it.
you know what I'm saying? Let's not deprive you of that. But I want to start from the beginning, bro.
Okay.
Because if you know Rico, he's up at the landscape and whatnot. Y'all see the video of his son on the machine doing this thing. That's him, you know. And I want to know, man, how early on were you always that guy who was cutting the grass, knocking the door, talking about, hey, cutting the grass for a couple of bucks?
So I was pretty much brought up into it. So my godfather, rest his soul, Douglas Samuel, me and my best friends, he had us outside doing, he worked for the water department. So we was digging holes with shovels at first, pushing water lines, and from there we went to landscaping, and then we started making little hearts and with the small push motors. So he was the one that got us into it originally.
Yeah.
And that was from 13 to like 18. And from there, it kind of like I just always wanted to, I've always been in my mind, we growing up, we had dreams where we write the stuff down. And I had a notepad about the barbershop and the clothing store and rental properties, and trying to see how many yards I can cut. $100 a month times 200 yards.
You already had a plan.
I had a plan. So it's kind of like, but I had to, and that's where it kind of took off. Just having that vision when I was younger, and having that instilled in me. The work ethic comes first. So.
And I think that's dope, bro. And it's another thing, because you didn't start going full time in your business until after you had one. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, you had enough clientele, because I remember you still working at your job full time and still working your business on the side and whatnot.
Right.
So let's talk about that transition right there.
So first, I actually, I went to the military straight out of high school. So that kind of like gave me I had to have a plan. I didn't have a plan to do a lot of stuff. So I went to the military straight out of high school, did, the reserve.
By the way, thank you for your service.
Appreciate it. So I did, it was Army. So,
Okay.
so did military, went 6 years, did 6 years in, Iraq, Kuwait, Germany, all that stuff. So I did tours. We had Iraqi freedom. So by that time I came back, messed my knee up, came back, and again, the VA, they pay you. So,
so, man, I missed that. I missed that, man, because
so yeah, it's a lot of benefits for that too. So I used that to my advantage. And went to school, and then from school I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So through all of that, I was still doing the landscaping when I came back. So still doing the landscaping, because again, that was a passion. It's easy to do, easy money. So from there. So
let's not say it easy, because I know too many clients who are saying, I don't want to get they're the sole purpose of saying they don't want to buy a home because they want to take it in the landscaping, bro.
Right.
And I cannot, it boggles my mind, because I know as a man, I do it, you know what I'm saying? But I get it, you know what I'm saying, for someone that's not proficient in the yard work, right. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to you, because I refer so many people to you about the yards, bro, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, because you do a great job or whatnot. But let me ask you this, because so you started with just you, and then you branched off, and I seen the growth, because it went from just you to being an actual where you able to hire people or whatnot. Right. And I want to talk about that, because most people a lot of people when they first start our course, they're solo entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? Which makes sense, right? But you scaled it to where you had that employee. There was no. You couldn't just do it on your own. Yeah. So talk about.
So it started off with me just that was my younger years. We was able to do 120, 150 yards a week. And, it went from that to now I need help, or and they kind of like I had it set up to where I had nephews and little cousins, or food friends that actually came through and helped, but it wasn't how I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be bigger and better than just the family members or the nephews, and I want to be bigger. It's a bigger version, so it was a bigger vision for me. So but through all of that too, I mean, I was still working too.
I remember.
So I was still working. So we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
So.
And it had a family time too. Like you were balancing all those things, bro.
Yeah. So, to get back to that, so I was working. So I was a correction officer for 10 years with juveniles with the state. So
how'd that go?
It was cool, and I mean that's another talk.
Don't
get me wrong.
Okay.
So, but it was cool. I use again each place that I went to, or each time that I worked for somebody, I use it as a tool to advance me.
Come on, Rico. All right, this is the first time we're gonna use this thing, but I had to because that's a gem that I don't want people to overlook right there, because I love how you said that. I think that all entrepreneurs should be able to use the skills that they learn in their job or with the military, whatever space that you're cultivating your gifts. Use that to help you.
Right. So while I was there for 10 years, the state, I worked for the state. So I mean, I think a lot of jobs do this too, where they give you these bonuses where you can go to school and they'll pay a different percentage of tuition. So I worked for the state, and they paid all of my tuition. So I'm like, what can I do to advance what I was already doing? So I used it, and I went to police academy. So I went to police academy, and while I was doing corrections, I was doing landscaping, I was in police academy, I was doing part-time at these different places. So I was doing part-time at Highland Hills, Timberlake. It was. I was working.
You doing it?
I was grinding. So
I'm gonna say, because I was, because I don't know Rico for like the last 10 years, and I see Rico, he's like, man, I was working here, and I'm like, dang, bro, you make it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you stay working, bro.
Yeah.
And I think there's a difference between grinding, just be grinding, or grind with a purpose. And if every time I know you wouldn't be grinding with a purpose.
Right.
So that's what's up.
Yeah. So it went from the police. And then I finally decided, I ended up getting another job with the sewer district, part-time police, with the sheriff's department, stuff like that. So it kind of and I advanced from juvenile to, a bigger and better stage to there. And then I'm still doing my landscaping and everything else. So from there, it kind of just, what else can I do? Yeah. What else can I do? Again, using the job as my tool. Yeah. So, I always, just doing houses, I'm like, I need something bigger. I need something bigger. I mean, just houses, I ain't touching the market yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I need to get into, I'm seeing these bigger companies. They got these new trucks, they got this new equipment, they got these houses, so I'm like, what can I do? I need to figure something out. Yeah. So, and I had mentors too. So I had a lot of, I had one mentor, Carl Kirkland, man. He I owe him my life, because he actually has been my mentor since I came back from the military. And when I was at Myers University was downtown. Yeah. From 2003, the part-time military and all that stuff. So when I got out, I ended up going down there. Yeah. And I met him, and he just took me under his wing and went from there. So he's been mentoring me since.
And shout out to mentors, man. Yeah. They're essential, because I believe when you have a mentor, they've already done the work as far as where you want to be, and they're going to help you mix all the hurdles that you normally would get on your own. They're going to help you shortcut all that. Right. Shout out to mentor, and don't minimize the effect of a mentor can have, because I will say this: I have quite a bit of mentors in my life, and I love each and every one of them, because once again, they help me in every aspect of my life. Because I have mentors in finance, I got mentors in entrepreneurship, I got mentors in pretty much every part of my life. And once again, what they do is they help me miss those hurdles, or help me at a point where I only can get so far, and the knowledge and the experience they have can help me get over that.
Right.
So shout out to mentors, man.
All right.
So let me ask you this. I'm sorry. With that being said, so we got to this point to where now you're seeing, like you said, you're seeing the bigger companies and whatnot. You literally are saying to yourself, well, they're doing something. You know what I'm saying? What was that missing piece that you said to yourself that you needed?
So it was the commercial stuff. Commercial businesses, commercial contracts, government contracts, you know, stuff like that. And
so break it down, because Marquita's not here, but if she was here, she wouldn't know what that meant. So we got to break it down for the audience.
Okay. So commercial contracts, government contracts, basically let's start here. So what I did was, I'm gonna go back to how I ended up getting into the commercial contracts. So what I did was I started kind of like watching all these other companies, and then I started watching,
seeing the competition,
right. And then by me working at the sewer district, I was at the front desk. So the sewer district, they kind of like had these they had these contractors coming in, putting their bids in. So I started talking to them. So again,
that's good. That's good. You peeping it, you know what I'm saying? You see it. That's dope.
So I started talking to them. So in the midst of that, they don't know I'm
right. They don't know.
They think I'm just.
They don't know them.
Sitting at the front desk, and
that's
I
dope.
got a police uniform on, and that's it. So it went from there to me actually start questioning them, like, what y'all getting paid for this? So if you want to come in, I did this for about 2 years straight. And I think that's during the time that I was like, man, I'm about to quit. So I was watching these guys bring these contracts. It was like, man, it wasn't just landscape, it was all other contracts too. So watching these guys bring paperwork in, and then I'm acting like, let me still bid. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what you're doing. So these guys putting in 100, 200, 300, $400,000 bids, contracts for 3, 4, 5 years. So I'm like, why can't I do that? So I started, mimicking it, kind of like looking at the paperwork. Right. Doing my schoolwork on the paperwork.
I was about to say, you were in school.
Right. I was taking notes on everything they brought in. And I'm looking at everything that they had, and I'm going to board meetings while I was at work, looking at what they're doing and reading off these numbers and seeing who right then and there, who won the bids. So I know a company's winning the bids, and I'm looking at their bids and
talking about that is so dope, bro. Because then you got to see the do's and don'ts without actually having to go through it. You know what I'm saying? And that way you can formulate in your mind, all right, I think that's so dope, because then you can formulate in your mind, all right, how do I beat the competition? How do I beat them out? How do I scale it to where I can get the contract? Because now you basically create your own formula in that. That's genius, bro.
So it went from that to finally finally I just started putting out every bid. I'm learning how to do these bids now. So while I'm at work, I'm looking at bids. I mean, I'm at work. I'm at work. I'm looking at bids. I'm looking at what bids are coming out, landscaping bids, snow plowing bids. And I ended up getting snow plowing bids for the schools. So right now we got about 20 schools that we do for CMSD. So like that, and then landscaping, and we start doing. Just doing the work. So reading, it was a lot of reading, and then finally, again, my mentor helped me and directed me in some directions and places that I needed to be in order to get some of these contracts. So one place was with RTA, and I ended up the bidding process. So first, the paperwork. So it's a lot that goes into it. So first, you got to become BBE.
Okay.
You got to become MBE.
I'm sorry.
So that's a whole nother game.
Okay.
So I mean, that's a whole nother aspect. We could talk about that after.
Okay.
So I ended up learning the bidding process, putting the numbers down, because you can actually request bids from the previous year of these other contractors, whatever, because it's public documents.
Talking about y'all, we're gonna give you the whole master class. So I hope y'all write this down. He's giving y'all a whole game right there. I didn't know you could do that.
I'm giving too much information.
You get, you know someone told me, it don't matter how much game you give away. They say they're gonna stand, they're gonna do it, Rico. They say gonna do it.
So I ended up pulling out landscaping bids. I had contracts in Toledo. Dayton. We was driving. This one we was trying to get that money. We was driving to Dayton once a week.
Once a week
for a $200,000 contract. It was, but we was having fun with it too. So I had it, man. So yeah. So but anyway, so I ended up, we ended up learning. I ended up learning the bidding process. I pulling government bids down. Because all I gotta do is call the office, call their public records, and be like, I want to request this previous bids, numbers for previous bids.
Okay.
They'll send it to you. So now you're looking at the bids, you're looking at all their information, looking at the other company's information, looking at who won.
Yeah.
So that's where you start mimicking their paperwork, and you understand what you have to get in order to at least be in the running. Running with these companies. So even with insurance, you're looking at what kind of insurance you need, because a lot of these insurance companies don't, they don't approve because they have to. They give you insurance to know that you're gonna complete the job.
Yeah.
A lot of these companies won't do that because you're a new company. So that's another thing we'll talk about.
Listen, bro. I would say when it comes down to that aspect, I'm learning right along with the viewer right now, because I didn't know you did that. I know, of course, you need insurance, but I know it's only up to the project. I thought it was like an overall thing. So you teaching me right now,
man. So this is where I learned my bidding process. I bid on an RTA contract for 1 year. It was a 3-year bid. Ended up bidding on it, and I was the lowest bidder. My lowest bid was $375,000 for 3 years. So I lost the bid because I missed out on one piece of paperwork.
Are you serious?
My insurance bond. That was to cover saying that I'll do the job.
Yeah.
I was so hurt.
Oh, wow.
Hey, but it's a story behind it.
Okay. What is it? About to say?
Yeah, so the story behind it. So after that, I was pissed, and I'm like, all right, man. I was mad because that was my out. I was always saying, I'm quitting. That was my out to go and be like, all right, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
Once I learned what I had to do, and I'm like, well, what can I do to get this? Because if you don't have all this documents, all this paperwork in there, they go to the next person. Automatically.
Cool.
So, and that's part of the learning process of you making sure you got your I's dotted, T's crossed.
Bro.
So I learned that over a $375,000 contract. So,
hey, you know what though? I will say this, bro. I will say it's those caution mistakes that make sure that you never ever.
So ended up doing that, and then 2 years later, the guy that had the contract. So this is where the DBE portion comes in. Because I would have been a prime contractor. The contract would have been mine completely. So that's where we're gonna have another class at. So prime contractors, you get the contract on your own. DBE, MBE, veteran-owned companies, contractors, Edge and all that, you're able to be a DBE company on. So basically, when you were a DBE, the prime contract, if it's another company outside of our race, has this contract, they have to give us a portion of the contract.
Time out. Because I know there are certain parameters that certain businesses out there have to have, as far as they have to give certain classes.
Everything government owned, everything government contract, government contracts, regional contracts, they have to give you. They set the goals, called DBE goals. They set the goals to give to us.
That's a whole gem right there. I know, because even in the corporate world, they have to hire so many people,
right?
So certain groups and whatnot.
So the other contractor that had it, he ended up losing it because he was DBE, he wasn't doing the work, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So my name was pulled out from 2 years ago. Give him a chance. Gave me a chance, and that was back in 2016, 17.
Still with it to this day?
So that was 2016. That was I finished out the 1 year.
Okay.
And I finished out the 1 year. And then the following year, that same $375,000 contract that I didn't get, I ended up getting it for 1 year on my own. So it was right place, right time. I ended up outbidding the top companies.
That's good.
And I ended up getting it. So now the head primary contractor over this contract. So now again, where the classes come in, that where, like you said, your primary and then your DBE. So primary, you can bid for the whole contract, and then if you don't get it, you're still in the running for a DBE. So either way it goes, it's a 75 to 100% chance that you're going to get the contract anyway on some level. You don't have to have all of it, you get a portion of it. And that's just only one area of contracts.
Okay. My head's spinning, bro. My head
Did I put too much?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm thinking like, how can I get into this realm?
But that's not even just landscaping. That's construction.
Oh,
that's heavy highway work. That's ODOT. That's building, everything.
Let me ask you this now: you being in the landscaping field, how many of us do you see in that? You know what I'm saying? When you go to see these bids on these contracts, how many of us are making these bids?
Not a whole lot.
Exactly.
But there are a few other companies that I actually told them, quit your job. Quit.
Yeah.
And they quit. And
they doing it.
Doing good.
That's good. Bro.
Doing good.
That's good.
A few of my dudes, and I mean, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Have them on the show.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get to that later on. We'll get to that later on or whatnot. I know because I like to believe. Well, I know for sure because I look at analytics of the podcast. A lot of our people who watch it are people who are aspiring entrepreneurs or literally entrepreneurs and stuck or whatever.
Right.
And you literally gave a whole master class, bro. And I appreciate that because
I got something else for you too.
What you got? What else? What
else
you got?
For you too. So not only you could do that in the government entity here, you can do contractor outside of Ohio the same way you're doing it here. You can go outside of Ohio and you can build landscaping contracts outside of Ohio, construction contracts outside of Ohio, be a DBE in another state.
And what like contract out those contracts other contracts?
You could be a prime or you can be a DBE.
As a whole of the hustle,
on the other side, yeah, because you don't have to. You don't have to be there if you work. You just sub it out.
You sub out someone else. Oh, that's oh, so wait, sometimes, bro. I'm like, look, you get my head spinning.
Yeah. So imagine how it was when I was like, I saw these numbers. I'm like, yeah. So
okay. So
we went ahead, way ahead.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I want to trust because you are a serial entrepreneur, bro. You're not even just entrepreneur, but you do. And now I think on top episode, he do this for real because he does. You know what I'm saying? Because then you didn't stop there, bro. Because you could have stopped there, but you said no. Let me go into other aspects because you're also an investor, bro. Yeah. And that's how me and you started. Now, me and Rico, we have been in plenty of business meetings. We have been trying to do a property management company. And then we talk about doing other things and whatnot. But Rico's always been an investor in real estate, which is a fantastic place to invest in. I know I'm being biased, but I want to talk about that, bro, because I like to diversify. You don't just stay in one place, bro.
Right.
Like most people when they hear 375, they're like, well, cool, I'm get here. You're like, no, I want to make sure I'm good in every area. I got money coming in different ways, different avenues, bro. So I want to talk about that.
So I mean, I've dibbled and dabbled in real estate.
I love your modesty, man. I dibbled and dabbled.
So I dibbled and dabbled. So a lot of the times, more so, I've had properties where they just come across, and I'll tap into them. Like I'm selling a property. Well, how much? And I'll say I'll get it. Yeah. So I'll fix it up and then resell it. You know, or I'll keep it, rent it out, sell it or whatever. But most of the time now I'm kind of like holding. Because it's another plan that we're working on now. So one of my partners that I deal with, her name is Tyra Hill. We're starting to get into group homes now. So we've come to that.
Which is a dope concept, by the way, man.
Yeah.
Now, I appreciate you don't get the whole game away with that because that's one episode by itself and whatnot. But we're talking because I'm trying to get this group home money too. You know?
So we talking and we actually came together and just said let's do it. So, you know, and I got the property, let's do it. So make it happen. So we doing it and it's coming soon. Yeah. No. So and the real estate, I mean, I actually love it, man. It's once you learn how to do the first one, then it's kind of easy. I'm not a big flipper. Yeah. You know, I haven't gotten into the big flips yet. So that's my next goal for after I finish getting I mean, the landscaping is together. I'm trying to get it on a magnitude of where I don't have to be there now. So
I remember this quote someone said. They said the job of any CEO is to literally be able to get their job away and be a CEO. That's the plan of everybody, because you want to get to that component, because until then you're still not an employee, but you're employed your own business.
Right.
And I think that we all should strive to do just that, bro. So shout out to you, man. And then we got the real estate, we got the landscaping, and then we're also another one of your businesses, bro. What were you? And I love how you said even as a kid you were like, I want a barbershop. So how did this come about? Right?
So this came about. The guy and you was, I mean, it was transformed from the old, it had big old cabins in here. So it was transformed. So the barbershop just came across where a guy was like, I'm just tired. I don't want it anymore. And I'm like, how much? I'm like, it was like, I'm like, how much? I'm like,
so let me ask you this. When we say how much, do you already have an idea in mind how much you want to spend when you hire somebody? Because I know you, bro. I know you're a negotiator. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure you have a number in mind, like where you're not trying to spend or whatnot. And I'm pretty sure you like, all right, well, let's work around this.
So, and actually, it wasn't even a bad number when he said it. I'm like, when he said it, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's make it happen. So 2 weeks later, a week later, I brought him the money. He was like, here. We went and got everything notarized, and switched names, and that was it.
And this used to be a barbershop already.
It was already a barbershop.
Okay.
So we just revamped it and put it together. So we are looking for barbers.
Oh.
We're looking for. We got 2 more chairs. Three more chairs.
That's what's up.
So it's 22653 Euclid Avenue. Designer cuts and styles.
And y'all already know, per usual, I'm gonna have all the information in the show notes. So you can go looking much further. So please hit my boy Rico up. Let me ask you this. So with starting this, what would you say? And I love how with you, bro, you don't shy away from, because I'm pretty sure you didn't have the. So did you get a mentor when you first started, or you already had an idea what you wanted? The vision you already had what you want to do with this place.
So I've always my godfather was my biggest mentor. Like, he told me everything. I mean manhood, work ethics. Like, I wasn't scared. He made us get dirty. So from him to my mentor, Carl Kirkland. And the paperwork side of things. So that's why you say you have more than one different mentor, because each one has a very valuable lesson that you can learn. So I mean, it kind of like I've had the vision, and finally all the pieces started coming together. You know, so the vision, the money, and then the patience too, because it was a lot of
That's an episode, by the way. I didn't write it down.
So the patience of just being able to. Do, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like, it was days where I'm like, I'm just ready to give up. Like, I don't want to landscape no more. Just take it. I don't want it no more.
So you know what? That's one of the questions I did when I asked you, bro. Because you have, if ever since I know you, bro, you have, not saying been a master, but like I don't see you too flustered too often, bro. And I know you have pressures on you, bro. I want to ask you, how do you maintain, or how do you continue pushing forward in times where you don't feel like pushing forward?
Whew. Man, so it's I would say probably the kids. You know, my kids are my biggest my life investments.
That's good, bro.
Because if it was, I mean, it's been days where I'm like, man, I'm not gonna make it. I mean, people don't know what other people are going through.
Yeah, that's facts.
You know, they just see the glitz and the glamour. So it's been days where I just like, I'm ready to give up, but I look at them and like, all right, let's go. You know, and that kind of like pushed me to keep going, investing in them. So as you can see, my son, man.
Hey, whenever you chance, check out Rico's Instagram, man. I promise you seeing another guy. You doing his thing. You thought that boy was born with that thing. He just whipping like.
So he's around. You know, he doesn't shy away from me. So
that's dope,
I mean, not only him, but my nephews, a lot of my workers that I deal with, even to today, like a lot of kids that I had at juvie, you know, juvenile corrections. They work for me, and they can always come back. It's like a relationship. You always come back and be like, all right, I'm sorry. You know, can I come back and work for you? I messed up. So it's like one of those. But you see it, and you I mean, it's an investment. You know, it's an investment in not just you, but the kids and even young, you know, 20, 21, 22 year olds. they finally get the picture and they understand it. So that's
good.
why. But yeah, my son is like he's like my protege. He's only 8. He's up to here to me, and he rides every.
But he's learning though. He's learning. That's dope,
he's
bro.
Learning. He rides every piece of equipment that I have. He's started at 6, so he can ride by himself now. So yeah, it's crazy. So,
that's dope, bro.
Teach a man how to fish.
No, listen. So I'm glad that brings me to the next question. So. You guys know on the podcast, we talk about the past, we talk about the present, and we talk about the future. So the future for you, what does that look like?
So my future, my future, actually that's one of my things I'm doing because I'm turning 41 next month.
Congratulations, bro. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so next month, it's gonna be a vital month for me because everything's starting up, landscaping. It's getting warm, and then the season's gonna change. So next month is like my month to just sit down and kind of like get all my stuff together and focus. I know a lot of people say, you do that period, throughout the day, but like next month is like my month to just like sit down, focus on life, and then refocus on what I have together already.
That's good.
So, but my future with landscaping is gonna get bigger and better, bigger and better. The investments they coming. So
I know you, bro.
It's coming. It's coming. And then I got another company too where we do flagging. It's a whole nother.
Right, I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
So we're looking for employees, and it's easy work, man. It's 23, 24 hours an hour. To where we're hiring fellas. Man, it's.
I was talking about that. That's crazy. I didn't know that. And so you mentioned the website because I promise you, bro.
It's not a website yet because we've done it for 2 years.
Okay.
Well, 3 years, but again, it's been me and like we go from landscaping to that. So now that's a part of the growth where we're just trying to build off of me just doing everything or my guys doing everything. So I'm gonna hire out now, and we're hiring fellas too.
Oh,
so
bro,
got to pass a drug test. so, but yeah. So that's it. So basically, flagging is where we just how you doing construction on the roads, and you just flagging, slowing traffic down.
Time out, bro. They pay 24 hours for that,
but it's on the rail. It's on the rail lines.
Okay.
So the trains, the rapids. So it's
you gotta pay attention.
But it's
easy work.
It's so easy. Yeah. It's easy. So yeah.
So let me, Rico, man, you are a genius, because that's not
honest.
Huh?
Don't say that too loud.
Oh yeah, I'm saying, bro, because everything you do is stemming from what you are doing already. It's not like you're not varying too far.
Right.
So, you know how they say you should have you should have stream income coming from one stream, and literally you're the epitome of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's genius, right?
It took a lot of mistakes, man. It took a lot of mistakes to get, and I'm not even there yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even there. I'm still learning a lot. So it's a lot of mistakes, a lot of investments, a lot of messed up money.
Yeah.
I'm
about to say, I was gonna say, when you think about all the money,
man, a lot of mistakes.
Hey, but it's all right though, bro. It's okay.
I mean, we still learning, man.
Yeah, listen. Hey, and from those mistakes, look how from those mistakes what you were able to accomplish, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that's dope.
Definitely.
That's dope. Okay, so. And Rico's getting a crash course on podcasting. You know what I'm saying?
Right, it's my first or second, maybe.
Yeah. So one of the things I like to have on a pull-up is that we have simple questions, right? And these are questions that I ask every guest. And one of the reasons why we started this podcast, everyone else who watched it before, is that I literally said to myself, I am tired of Cleveland having the stigma of not coming together. Me meeting Rico was literally out of me seeing him doing this thing. I'm like, man, I gotta be in touch with this man right here, But unfortunately, our city doesn't have a stigma of us collaborating, coming together, and whatnot. So my question to you, my friend, is how do you think we can beat that stigma for our city?
For our city, man, it's. I mean, y'all already doing it. Y'all doing it. The pull-up expo, y'all already doing it. Just y'all already bridging the gap, you know. So
you know what, bro? I appreciate that. We number one, by the way. We number one.
Man, congratulations.
Number one podcast in our city when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Okay,
you know what I'm
good,
saying?
man. So yeah, that's already one of the biggest things, bridging the gap, and putting people together that can actually make it happen, and not just because you got a lot of people that can't do business together. A lot of people that don't know business. A lot of people that don't know entrepreneurship.
Come on. That's the whole line right there.
Yeah. So a lot of people that don't know business, a lot of people that don't know, you know, they just see numbers and think it's okay.
Think it's okay.
It's not. You know, it's bigger than just. I mean, I'm still learning. So the payroll. So I'm like, you know, I'm not doing payroll no. I'm hiring somebody to do payroll. I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah.
So I mean, because it gives me more time now to actually do something else and focus on something else.
That's good, right?
So, but yeah, just
because the question on payroll piece, or not even payroll, just something that you have to do as an entrepreneur, but then something that you know that if you delegate to someone else or you get someone else, you can focus on the things they're good at.
Yeah, because even with that, focusing on like the payroll, it's a bigger picture. So like payroll, like I missed out on so much money with the whole piece, the legit money that everybody's getting. You know, I'm looking at everybody trying, and I'm driving a 250. I found my keys in my truck. So I'm looking at all these guys and these. Oh, we got that PPP. And I'm like, oh man, y'all going to jail. But so. You know, the legit way of things, you have to, you know what I'm saying, the payroll, just pay the money. Pay the money to get the payroll done, and that, you know, the bigger picture, they're giving you grants. Yeah. If you have a business, they're giving you grants to get, you know, for employees, for, you know, certain things. But then it's also, you know, putting people together that can do certain things for you. And then y'all, you know, each business has a piece to it. So you can't do everything.
No, bro.
You can't do everything. So itemizing those tasks and everything, and people just learning to be able to not say, because man, it's so it's funny that we talk about this. So it's been things where people say, oh, this is my business, and I just be like, it's yours, but the money coming to me. You can claim it all you want. Whose name on it? So, oh man, it's. I hear people like, oh, they said it's there. Like, oh, really? I don't see this. You can have it. So, it's so many, you know, it's so many different. That's the biggest thing, bridging the gap. Having people coming together and just understand it's enough money there, man. It's enough money for everybody, and everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to see the bigger picture. You know, see the bigger picture. If you can instill the vision into that group of people, oh man, you'll be good. That's the best part.
Now I appreciate you, bro, because every time we go, bro, you're always giving me game. You know what I'm saying, and you always are. You know what I'm saying, adding value. So I appreciate you, bro.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. I would have seen Rico like 2 years, and every time I seen, hey man, listen, hey, this is how you do business. I'm like, oh damn, it's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But so I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you too, man, because I called you. I'm like, big, I know you big time. I'm gonna say this too. You know I'm about to say it.
Go ahead.
I called you. I said, I want to do it because you know what I was talking to you about doing a podcast with you. Of course, I thought about you first. And
appreciate you,
about the other guy too. So when I called you, I'm like, man, B better call it. B better answer this phone. Like, I'm the reason he big time now. I'm the reason that, hey, I told him to quit his job.
He did.
I said, quit your job, B. Just quit. Like you going through this real estate class. Hey, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we got stories and whatnot.
We got stories.
Because I've been trying my real estate license for a minute though, bro. But it happened though.
It happened, and I'm glad. I'm happy. Like I was on your team. I'm like, bro. Like,
I appreciate that. You were encouraging me, bro.
Keep going.
Yes,
you got it. Like just keep going. It's a bigger picture.
Yes, and the bigger picture. We haven't even tipped the tip of the iceberg.
Definitely.
So I appreciate you, man.
Definitely.
Okay, so we got that, and I do want to ask, and then once again, these are just staple questions. One of the things that I ask each of our audience, each of our guests, is your legacy, man. And I'm pretty sure I have an idea what your legacy would be, but what do you want your legacy to be as an individual, and then what you want your legacy to be for your businesses?
individually, man, that's a good question.
I mean, just for you, for when they think about Rico Webster, what do you want people to remember you as?
I want people to remember you as you know, a good guy. You know, somebody that.
You're good, by the way.
I appreciate it, man. Somebody that's about their business. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it for you. I'm very big on helping people. That's my biggest thing. I got a soft heart for helping people.
That's up.
So legacy for that is just and making sure my kids, my family's taken care of. You know, I think that should be number one, because at this point, it ain't about me, you, it's about our kids.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that should be the vocal point of any father.
Yes, yes.
You know, the vocal point is your kids.
Absolutely.
You know, because kids is what's gonna take care of us when we get older. So you have to shine a light on them. It's too. I mean, it ain't too late for you, but it's late.
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah.
we can still grind, but at the end of the day, you know, it's their
They're
turn.
gonna pick it up, and
Yeah.
and I always say, you see your son, man. He at 8, bro. He already got it down. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about if you're gonna set a company. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, he's so embedded in that joint now. To settle be a, you know what I'm saying?
He already know. He said he got his own briefcase. He's known as the black businessman. That's his name. So he got his own account. We take his money to his account. So, and he get paid from now. This year he's getting paid from the company account. So yeah.
See?
So he's a tax write-off too.
Listen, y'all heard it, because you know what I hate about, I said hate, but I just follow Instagram. You hear how people are doing. You actually done these things, bro.
But I learned from my mistakes, man. Not, you know, just the cash having people and the you know, just not keeping track of stuff. So it's you learn. Once you learn, hey, you know, it's you're never going again. So
No, I got you, bro.
I definitely learned.
Okay, so get the legacy, and then I know for sure that someone watching this young man or young woman who's watching this right now, and you didn't give a master class on government contracting. You didn't give some motivational things. What are the 3 things you want somebody to take away from your interview tonight, bro?
My interview is, man, you can, man, coming from where I came from, you can do it. You know, you can do it no matter what. I mean, it's like just learn from your mistakes. Have A to Z plans, no matter what, because I mean, you can go from A to Z, and Z the one that's gonna work. You know, just keep on top of it. Never give up, and stay focused. You know, never let somebody tell you can't do something, because it's been plenty. It's been plenty. You know, and I was a knucklehead, you know, growing up. But I see why they say, like, you ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
But you know, I see why. But at the end of the day, now I like, look, I did it.
I did it.
You know, I did it.
Yeah.
And I love when, you know, a lot of people feed off negative energy.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of feed off of it too. So, you know, that's me. And I love the negative energy. You know, I've learned to not focus on it.
You live upon it though.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good. And so just so y'all know, okay, so I'm making an announcement today on the episode and whatnot. I'm not leaving the pull-up experience and whatnot. Not leaving. I'm still here. But me and Rico, like you said earlier in the interview, we're going to create a podcast that's gonna be more centered. We're gonna have it right here in the barbershop, but it's gonna be more so eccentric for, if you know what I'm saying, for our fellas or whatnot. We're gonna talk about real issues, and it's nothing against ladies or whatnot, but more in depth, more about what we as men deal with. And me and Rico, we talk about business, sometimes talk about real life stuff too.
Yeah, we definitely talk about family.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, that feedback off of that. But we're gonna. I want to do what we want to do. You know, the single mothers bringing their or even just parents having issues with their kids, because we have a lot of resources for these kids.
Yes.
You know, that I know of, and friends that are willing to actually put the time in to help too.
Absolutely.
So, you know, just bringing them in here, talking to them. I got people, like I said, I've been a cop, I've been a correction officer. I have friends that are still correction officers. So they're willing to talk to these kids, or willing to, you know, give their side of the story. I have friends that are in jail. I have cousins that are in jail doing 100 years, you know, so it's just giving the or even just people that's out now that's talking and able to give their you know, their side of the story, being inside and coming out and doing what they're doing now. So, and then just talking, because these kids, like I said, that's another thing. So, these kids, they need, and I had to learn this too. I had to learn to have a soft side for kids, soft side for my son, because I've always told him to stop crying, dude. Be quiet, shut up. You know, just go sit in the corner and stop crying. So I had to understand that, again, that he's going. Their kids, period, are going through so many different things. And it's from emotional. It's from they got so much stresses just from going to school, so and family issues and everything else. That sometimes they need a soft hug and a hand on that shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Because touch can you can translate energies from just touching somebody.
So just growing up, how we did, and just how different it is for our kids. Like you said, that the big, not saying the big difference, but that listening ear versus like, shut up, you don't want to hear what you got to talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that did something to us, and now we're seeing the effects of it, and we trying to correct it now. And I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be great, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So just as y'all support the Pull the Spin, I want y'all to support this, and y'all be on the lookout for that. Great interview, by the way, man. And like I love interviews like this because I know Rico. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we interview people and you be like, oh, they don't know what you're talking about. I know he knows what he's talking about. I know he does this for real. So this was always a good interview. You should have episode number 1, but I don't know. I was tripping.
Hey, man.
I was tripping.
I can say that.
When I said that, I was like, man, why have we not have an episode yet? But we got it now. You know what I'm saying?
Push me back to number 1.
And you know what? We might have to, reboot it one time. But once again, man, bro, I appreciate you, man, because once again, I think it shows the quality of a man to say you have quality friends, man. And Rico's one of the quality people, man. So I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
No, listen, bro. Listen. And I see great things on you, and we're gonna do great things together, bro.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Community,
exactly.
Community, yeah.
Exactly, bro. So, listen, y'all. I want to thank y'all once again for pulling up with us at this great interview tonight, and we'll see y'all next week. All right. Until then.
That was cool, man.
Oh yeah, listen, bro. Like I got it down to it. So I try to keep it underneath for, you know what I'm saying, underneath for hours.
Yeah. See what these kids talking about.
Yep.